Hi everybody, Judy Tuttle here from Tuttle Up Stamping, Midland, Texas. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm here for my Monday, day one of my online classes to go. I do these every week. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday around noontime, usually. I'm a little late today. I was running a little behind, but I hope it's going to be worth the wait for you because these turtly awesome, turtly cute cards are going to be a lot of fun. So, I have to tell you, we were planning on doing the Extraordinary Flora class this week, but we discovered that the dies and the washi tape are both unavailable, and one of them for quite a long time. Like, I think the washi tape isn't available until October. So we shifted, we pivoted, and decided to go with the turtles for this week. And I hope you love the creations that Monica and I have come up with. I'm going to do 2 cards with you today. Before we get started, though, I want to tell you about a couple of things, if you don't mind. First of all, there's a big sale going on right now. Anything with the in colors, the current newest in colors in the product are going to be 15% off. So that is all the ink pads, re-inkers, ribbon, paper. There's even kits that have ink colors in them that are on sale. So anything that you put in your cart that has an in color in it, you'll see that it shows up at 15% off, which is pretty cool. That sale is going to be going on. Hi, Ross. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm glad you're here. In the cart. Hi, Marianne. Thanks. You're so sweet. You guys, you're so sweet to me. Thank you so much. So the in color sale is going on until the end of August, okay? So if you want to stock up on some cardstock or DSP, that beautiful Florals in Bloom has lots of in colors in it, so that'll be 15% off. The Impressions in Bloom DSP that I love is also going to be 15% off, just tons of things. So go to my online store, which is TuttleUpShop.com, and you can see everything that is on sale. Okay, so let's see what this flag is. That's over. You guys, you blew me away with your love you showed me for my adhesive bag sale and the class to go from last week, the beautiful gallery. You guys just spoil me. You really do. So I loved those cards, and I'm glad that you loved them too. And I hope you're looking forward to getting your kits in the mail this week. Okay, now this is the next big deal for me. The August Craft Along will be coming the last week of August. I think it's like the 20, let me look at my calendar here real quick, and I'll tell you. The 25th through the 29th, we have created 5 cards using the Jar of Joy suite. You'll get $25 in product, including the Nests of Winter DSP, the gold and silver trim, the peppermint embellishments. And every day that week, we'll be doing 2 cards together, Monday through Friday. And you guys, I've already sold 10 of these craft-alongs already. So you have until the end of this week to get in on the fun. Those of you who are out of town can get your kit and craft along with me during that last week of August. And if you're in Midland, Texas, there's still room for you around my table to come and craft with me. So I will put the link to that up in the description after this video is over, okay? All right, that's all my announcements I have for today. Tomorrow I will have a couple of things to add for September classes. Hi, Sharon. Sharon, I just got your sweetest little card, and the card that you did for Miss Lucy. That was so, so kind of you. I did not open her card. I'm going to let her open it, but I can't wait to tell her that she got some fan mail in the mail. That was so thoughtful of you. Okay, so today, And the rest of this week, we are focusing on, like I said at the beginning of the video, let me move this down to my hands here, the Turtley Cute Sweet Collection, okay? It's on pages 48, 49, 50, 51 of the annual catalog. So many cute projects that they've already shown you here. But what you get in this suite, and let me move this, my hands off here. I'm going to move this away for just a second. You get the Turtley Awesome stamp set and dies. Lots of fun things about these dies. Not only do they cut out all the images that are here, but they also have things like a chef's hat and a banjo and a garden water pail and an apron for when you're cooking out, and a cute little straw hat. They just put a lot of effort into making this a super cute suite that you can get your hands on. Okay, so that's the stamp set and dies. We also have the Turtley, what do they call this embossing folder? Turtle Textures. So this embossing folder looks like a turtle shell, which is pretty cool, right? And, you know, you can just emboss it like I'm going to do today, or you could use two-tone and sand it like I did a couple weeks ago using the sunflower embossing folder. That would be cool for the turtle as well. You get these awesome gems, and they call these the Shades of Green Hexagon. And let's see if I can put a piece of white behind it here so you can really see the shades of green coming through here. Here you go. So I've used a lot of these, but this is the embellishments you would get with your kit to go this week. Aren't those pretty? They are very fun. And then you have the Shaded Spruce and Soft Seafoam satin ribbon. It's very pretty. So one side is Shaded Spruce. Hi, Sissa. Thanks for coming on. I'm glad you're here. I feel like maybe you watched my video last week. So thanks for being new, and thanks for watching. We always like new friends to come on. So one side of the ribbon, it's a very soft satiny ribbon. One side is soft seafoam. The other side is Shaded Spruce, and it's got this nice stitched edge to it. One thing Stampin' Up! Always does well is ribbons and embellishments, I think. Okay, and then the Turtley Cute paper is so fun. You get just some prints, but you also get several pages. How cute is this one with this woman by the beach with the beach towel on his head, right? I think it's a woman because of the towel, but such fun images, barbecue images, beach images. There's another page here that has gardening type images. We've got lots of birthday cake images. Lots of the die cut these images out as well. Look at this one with all the band instruments. You can tell I've used that paper. Hi, Sue. And then you get this one sheet. Let me pull it out. That just has pre-printed panels on it that you can cut and use on your projects. I love this beachy one. Here's one that I used on a case through the catalog. I made this card with that theater background when we cased through the catalog a couple months ago. I love that card as well. And picnic, a wedding. Honestly, I have to say, I don't know if I'd give turtles for a wedding card, but it would be cute for a fun little scrapbook page, right? And all kinds of fun images on the back, polka dots. So we're going to show you how to use all of this today. Okay, so that's the DSP. I'm going to put this over here on the floor. Now, I want to show you one more thing before we get started. And that is that this suite also has a matching scrapbook suite, okay? And in this, you get a whole nother stamp set. And we're going to be using this one today. It's called Turtley Sweet Stamp Set. You can also get two-toned paper that coordinates with the suite. You get the same DSP that we just had, but there's also this fun sticker sheet. So the Turtley Sweet Scrapbook Bundle is right here. They give you layouts on exactly how to put your scrapbook pages together, right? Yes, Sissa, you are from Weatherford. And I am sorry. You asked about my retreat in Waco. And do you know what, you guys? I didn't even have to market it. People right away are like, especially my in-person people, I sold out in 48 hours. So maybe the next time I have a retreat, and I'm going to find a bigger place next time. I hope to meet you there and you can come. So here's the cute sticker sheet. That belongs to the Turtley Sweet Scrapbooking Collection, okay? So lots of fun things that they invested in these turtles. Stampin' Up! Did, okay? All right, so let's get started. Let's tunnel up and get started stamping. Okay, so where are my little packages? Here they are. I hope you love my cards today. They're not very hard, but they're super sweet, and I think they're going to be a lot of fun to make. So here's our first card. Hope your birthday is totally awesome. I used that embossing folder, some Poppy Parade paper with the garden green paper. I used those everyday arches, but I turned them on their sides and stamped some pieces for my turtle there, and then added some of those hexagon gems, okay? And then this is the inside of my card right there, okay? So let's get started. We are going to take a piece of garden green cardstock, and I have a piece that I cut 5.5 by 8.5, scored down the middle at 4.25. Okay, and I'm just going to use my bone folder, my trusty bone folder, to get that good and scored there. And then I have this panel that's 4 by 5.25 that I embossed with that turtle shell embossing folder. Isn't that fun? So I'm going to grab my Seal Plus, and I'm just going to add some. And you know me, I don't like to push into my embossed pieces. So I usually put the seal on the, I don't know why my camera must be a little wonky here. I feel like I'm a little crooked. See, oh, there we go. I can fix it. And maybe I'll zoom in just a tad here. Thanks, Sue. All right, so here we go. You guys blew me away with my adhesive bag sale. Thank you for helping me celebrate my 17th stamp-iversary. It's been 17 years of pure joy. I promise you, it really has. Okay, so I have a piece of the DSP that I cut 3 by 4. And then I cut my cardstock, and this is Poppy Parade, 3.25 by 4.25, okay? So I'm going to add my DSP to the center, and that Poppy Parade is just going to frame it a bit, okay? So I've heard back and forth, love and hate about these sweet turtles. I don't know how you feel about it, but I have to tell you, they had to grow on me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I was even hesitant to buy them, and then my friend Monica was like, Judy, you have to get the turtles. So I did, and you know what? I had a lot of fun making these cards. So, okay, so on my original card, I put it so that the light side was on the card front. This time, the bags are not sold out. So if you guys still wanted a bag, I still have a few left. If you get the adhesive bag filled with Seal Plus and a refill of Seal Plus, it's $44. If you get a bag of just regular Seal and a Seal refill, it is 38. But I believe the registration link has been turned off, but if you'll reach out to me, we'll work out a Venmo payment or a PayPal payment for that, okay? Okay, so here, this time I use the other side of that ribbon. Sometimes I like to change it up a bit when I'm on Facebook. Okay, so this is going to get adhered right here on the front of the card, but I'm going to slide it a little bit to the left from center, okay? So let me get my dimensionals right here. Are you guys proud of how easily I just found those? Oh, Judy, Judy, Judy. Here we go. My dog Rory's mad at me. I don't know if you can hear her barking, but I put her outside. She was being, I don't know, very needy today. And right before I was going live, she just kept pawing at me. And I'm like, you know what? We're just going to go outside for just a little bit until my live is over. Okay. There we go. Right like that. Okay. Then I cut 2 of those everyday arches. I cut one in. Yes, it's so pretty, isn't it? I love it. So this is what it looks like, the card looks like with the soft side down, and this is what it looks like with the dark side down. They're both beautiful. Okay, so I have, and I'm a green person. I love green. I have a Poppy Parade everyday arch that is 2 1/4 inch along its straight side right there. Okay, and then I have the next smaller down. This one is 2 inches. So those are going to be perfect layered right inside of each other. Okay, I'm going to turn it this way, and it's going to end up being in my card kind of sideways like this. Okay, so here we go. I've got a stamp that says, hope your birthday is totally awesome. Sometimes I need to say was totally awesome. I wish I could say I'm really great about getting my birthday cards out on time, but guess what? I'm not really great about getting my birthday cards out on time. I usually notice it when the Facebook notification comes up and says, it's so-and-so's birthday. I'm like, need to get a card out to them. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this in garden green right here at the top of this arch right here, right like that. Okay, now this is going to go inside, the white arch is going to go inside the Poppy Parade arch. I'm going to use some Seal Plus here. Right like that. And then this is going to get popped up kind of off the edge of that rectangle. Let me see if I can zoom in just a tiny bit more. There we go. So it's going to go off the edge right here. So I'm going to put dimensionoses, as Lucy would say. And I'm going to use this edge piece here. It's perfect. And it's going to go right here along the edge of this arch right there. And then I'm going to use flat glue on this side because it's going to lay flat on this panel, but this edge is going to fall off onto this side that is already, I heard that, Sue, I heard that Lincoln got hit really hard with storms. I need to reach out. I know some of my friends lost power. So I need to reach out to some of them and see how they're doing. Okay, there we go. We're going to put that aside for just a second. Now, I have a couple of pieces here of scrap white. And, oh, thanks. You guys are so sweet. All right. I can't even read your messages because I'm getting emotional because you guys are so nice to me. Okay, so I got the turtle that's laying on his back, and normally that would be a very distressing time for a turtle, but this one is just at the party having a good time. So there's my turtle, And then the two things the turtle's going to be added to him this time is going to be a party hat, which I might put right here. And then I'm going to put my birthday cake over on this other sheet right here, just so we have plenty of room. Okay, right like that. I'm going to grab some blends and some markers. So the blends that I'm using, well, let's start with the marker. We do not have a garden green marker. Garden green blends. I don't know why. I don't know why we don't have garden green blends, but we don't. So, you know what, Sue? I even bought 2 sets of arches. I love them so much. And I use them on so many of my classes that I decided I needed another set. So they are amazing. And they have sold out a couple of times, but I think they're available right in this second. And I think I've sold a lot of them to my customers because they're like, I need those arches if you're going to take this class. And I'm like, yes, you do. You need them anyway. They're amazing. Okay, so I'm just coloring with my Stampin' Right marker in garden green inside his little shells right there. Okay, now they used to say not to mix them, but people have experimented and we've decided it's okay to mix them. Oh, one more thing I want to do with that garden green is I want to do his toenails here. I call him his toenails. I guess they're toenails. I don't know. So I'm doing just his tips of his toes. There we go. All right. Then I have a light and dark granny apple green. And I'm going to do the light first. And I'm doing his legs. I guess they call them legs, right? This light garden green is about, it's almost on its last leg here. It's getting mushy. So sometimes the brush ends of these markers, once they're used a lot, they get a little mushy. And they don't color quite as well. I'm going to put those on my order today. There we go. Light. And I'm going around my dots on my shell here with the light. Okay, there we go. And then his head. Doing his whole head. Light granny apple green. All right. Then I'm going to add in a little bit of dark right here at his neck. Some of these places where the legs intersect with the shell that would have natural shadows in those places, right? There we go. And then I'm going to come back with my light and kind of blend that all together and make it look like it really is shadows there. All right. Now, the inside of his shell, I'm doing with light and dark soft sea foam. So I'll start with my light. I like all the greens. So we're using 3 different shades of green on this turtle. We used garden green, granny apple green, and now I'm using soft sea foam for his little shell there. I'm going to add a little bit of shading on some of these lines right here in dark. There we go. So turtle is done. Now my birthday cap, I'm doing the fluff on the top and the dots in Poppy Parade, and I just used the light for this because this is a very small space here. I didn't feel like it really needed to have dimension in those dots, right? Yes, it is handy, Sue, because I do a lot of die cutting, right? And if I can do a die cut two at a time, it really saves a lot of time. Okay, so there's this little hat. Now for my birthday cake, I need to remind myself what I did. I used light pool party for the cake itself. So let me get my brush tip here. There we go. All of my candles obviously are going to be Daffodil Delight. Is that what I have? Yep, dark Daffodil Delight is what I have. And then I used my Granny Apple Green and I colored some of these candles Granny Apple Green. I'm going to color a couple of them in Poppy Parade. And then also the base of my cake here is also going to be Poppy Parade. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then my middle candle is going to be Daffodil Delight. Okay, that's it for my coloring. So I'm going to grab my dies and start die cutting. They're right here. So I have my turtle. I'm going to grab my tear and tape, make sure he stays in place. Have my party hat here and my cake. So my party hat, I'm going to line it all up. Put a piece of tear and tape on it. I said tear and tape, it's Post-it note tape. Tear and tape would never come off, would it? All right, and then there's my birthday cake right there. So I'm gonna go off camera here to my die cutting machine. And my cake is ready, and my turtle and birthday hat are all ready to go. Okay. Put those back in my die container here. And we're going to put this together. Okay, so I'm going to put just a small bit of dot of glue on the very bottom of this party hat here. If my liquid glue will cooperate with me that I just used 2 seconds ago. Okay, I'm going to go to a different bottle here. You know what? I don't know if anything is more irritating to me than trying to get glue bottles to work. So here we go. Let me use my fine tip, hopefully. Oh, there we go. Came right out. There, third time's the charm. Okay, so I put a little liquid glue right on the very end of that birthday hat, and it's going to go right here, just on the very edge of his head. I don't want it to cover his eyes. I just want it to be sitting on top, right like that. And then the birthday cake is going to be sitting right on his tummy here, okay? So let me grab that liquid glue again. And we're almost done with card number 1. So was the jury out for you guys on these turtles? If so, I hope I inspire you that they can be a lot of fun. I tell you what, I agree with you on that, Sue. It is a great tool, that Post-it note tape. Man, I don't know how we lived without it. before. Our cards weren't near as cute. I will tell you that for sure. Okay, so Mr. Turtle is going to get popped up right here on the side of this arch. I don't want to cover the words. And I kind of want him to kind of go right like that. Okay, now I'm going to grab those hexagon gems. Right here. And I'm just going to scatter a few of these. And you can use whatever color green you want. I think I'm going to use the lighter on this one because I have more of those. Right there. And right here. And then maybe one of the green apple green ones right there. Okay. So there's the front of our card. Hope your birthday is totally awesome. Now the inside, simple. I have a piece of that Poppy Parade. This is 4 by 5 1/4. It's going to go right here on the inside. And then I have a piece of white that I cut 3 3/4 by 5. It's going to go right on top of that. Do you put layers inside your card like this? I do sometimes. I feel like a pop of color sometimes is fun. And then I have a piece of DSP and I have that turtle shell piece. I always do the inside of my cards, Marianne. I think a card is unfinished until it has something on the inside. That's just me. I don't want my customers to have to try to figure out what to do on the inside all by themselves. So I give them an idea. Not that my ideas are always perfect, but it's cute. Okay, so there's the inside of my car. Hi, Christina. Glad you're here. Thanks for coming on. Let's see, have I missed anything? Yes. Yeah. Hi, Christina. Thanks for coming on. I'm going to have to catch up with all your comments, but keep talking. I love that. I love that you're communicating and having fun together. So there's card number 1. Hope your birthday's totally awesome. And then that's the inside of card number 1. Okay. So let me put this all away. And then I love card number 2. So hang with me as we do our second card here. It's kind of a fun fold. And somebody out there is going to know the name of this one. But this is card number 2. We've got the turtle riding on the big bike through the park. And it says hooray on one of those arched dies again. And then it opens like this and it says it's your day inside. Isn't that cute? I love it. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. You don't always have to. Definitely don't always have to do 2 layers. And you definitely don't always have to put something on the inside if it's a white base. But I tend to even put a little DSP or something on the inside in that case as well. Okay, so how cute is this? Do you guys love it? That little turtle just riding his bike through the park, and then it opens like this and says it's your day. So here we go. Where did I get this park panel? Well, I showed you earlier that one of the pages of the DSP has these panels, and this is the panel I used right here. So it's 4 inches wide, and it is 6 inches long, 4 by 6. So I cut the panel out, and then I cut it in half at 3 inches, okay? So I used a 4-inch by 3-inch panel. So I used this side on this card, and then I'm going to use the other side of the park for my next card, okay? So nothing goes to waste with that park panel there. Okay, so let me put that aside. So this one starts with a piece of Flirty Flamingo cut 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, okay? And then I have a piece of Pool Party. And this is two-tone Pool Party. So you'll see when I fold this back on itself. And I think I decided, let me decide which side I want it on this. No, I do want it this way. So this side, let me kind of turn it like this. Can you see the two tones? So this side is a little darker than that shade right there. And the nice thing about two-tone cardstock is it's a little bit lighter weight than regular cardstock, and you can get them in every single one of our colors. So I'm using a regular Pool Party panel, and I wanted some make sure that the panel that's on the outside shows the other tone. And then once you see how I finished off this card, you'll see it didn't really make that much difference. So I kept playing with it. So you can see that when I put the Pool Party cardstock on the light side of the Pool Party two-tone, you actually do get a variation in color there, right? I love that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this panel onto my Flirty Flamingo panel. So you can see it's not a card you open up. I'm putting this panel on top, and it's going to open up whoop, like that. Okay, so let me get some Seal Plus on the back of this Pool Party panel here. Make sure I get it close to the edges and a little in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to take my Flirty Flamingo panel. I'm going to make sure my Pool Party is centered well, and I'm going to press it down with my bone folder there. Okay, so maybe I will go ahead and put my inside in. So I have a piece of basic white that is 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm pulling out this sentiment large that says, "It's your day." And it is from that scrapbooking stamp set. I'm showing you it can still be used on cards very easily. This one is super fun. I'm thinking about using that one on tomorrow's card. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up in Granny Apple Green. And this is a tight fit. I'm not going to lie. This stamp is almost 3 3/4 inches long. So I'm just tapping it on my sentiment. And let's see if I don't mess this up here. I'm going to stamp it. Right in the center here of the inside of that card. There you go. It's your day. So this is going to go in here, but before I put it in there, I have this little piece of the polka dotted DSP. It's on the back side of those panels, which is unfortunate because I really like this piece, but I don't necessarily like cutting up my panels, right? So I'm going to put this on the very edge here. And then this is going to get laid centered on the inside. And it's going to cover up most of that, but it's going to peek out from behind it. Looks a little bit more like a party, right? Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to work on the front of my card. So I have this piece of the Turtly Awesome DSP. I'm going to put it right here on this front panel. So this panel is 2 inches by 5 1/4 inches. So I did this 1 7/8 by 5 1/8. So just a little bit smaller. So it's going to fit right inside that space right there. There we go. And you know, if you take my classes to go, you get a recipe card with all the measurements and the ingredients and everything you need to make the card. And then you also have this video to refer to, right? Okay, so this is the other side of that part card panel that I cut from the DSP. And I'm going to put it on. So this is 3 by 4. I'm putting it on a pool party panel that is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Right like that. Perfect. And then I cut another flirty flamingo that is just a tiny bit wider and taller. So this was 4 3/8 by 3 3/8. 4 3/8 by 3 3/8 is the size of that flirty flamingo panel that's behind the pool party. Okay, so I'm going to add some seal here. All right. There we go. Now, this piece of the turtle riding the bike is one that I just cut out of the DSP. It's on the back side. I really like this turtle riding bicycle turtle. But I went ahead and fussy cut it ahead of time here. So I just fussy cut around it. I didn't worry about this inside part right here. And I'm going to add some dimensionals on the back side of this one. And he's just going to be riding his bike through the park, having a beautiful day. We don't really have, that's one thing I really miss about Lincoln, Nebraska, is that we had beautiful bike trails that went literally from one end of the city to the other. And there's just not anything like that here in Midland. Plus, it's really hot, so not a lot of bike riding going on, especially in the summer. But Jim and I used to, on Sunday late afternoon, get on our bikes and just ride the trails on a nice day. It was a lot of fun. Any of you bike riders out there? He even got me a bike that had a really cute basket on the front where I can hold stuff. I still have it, but I haven't ridden it since we moved here. Okay, so this is going to go right here on this panel like he's riding his sweet little bike through the park. How cute is that? All right, now I have another arch. Where's my arch? Well, I'm just going to grab one from my stash over here. I've already pre-cut a bunch of kits because I'm hoping you guys love this enough that you want to. Oh, I see it. It fell on the ground right here. But I think I stepped on it. I did. So we're going to go with a new one. So I have this arch. Oh, that's fun, Sissa. I love that you love riding a bike. I loved it too. But, you know, there are new and different things to do in Midland from Lincoln. So, you know, you lose some things, you gain some things, especially time with my grandkids, right? So, there we go. I'm going to stamp hooray in this arch, and it's going to go sideways so that the straight edge is on the left this time. My green apple green ink pad needs to be re-inked, and I tell you, I can tell. Do you see how it's not getting a consistent color all the way? I mean, I don't hate it, but it needs to be re-inked. So I'm going to have to do that here in a second. All right, now on this hooray, I'm grabbing that ribbon, and I'm going to cut me a small piece of the ribbon. Like maybe that might even be too much, but I'm going to fold it in half so that the tails show the two different colors like this, right? And I'm going to put it right here underneath the hooray, kind of so that they're dangling down on that side. So first of all, I'm going to put some Seal Plus right here and fold my ribbon how I want it and just kind of lay it right there at the bottom. But then I'm also going to, well, this one is not cooperating like my other one did. Okay, let's try that one more time. There we go. I'm also going to put a piece of tear and tape over it to hold it down really securely. There we go. Sure, I can't see it on the other side here. All right, so those ribbons are just going to kind of hang down like that off my hooray. Okay, I'm going to cut them a little bit shorter here at an angle. There we go. And then this is going to get adhered right like that. Okay, but it's going to go flat on the wheel, but I do need a dimensional right here because this is already lifted once, right? So I'm going to put a dimensional right above where my ribbon is right there. And I'm going to put flat glue right here, Seal Plus. And then this is going to get popped up. It's okay if it goes a little bit off this edge right here. I kind of like when it does that. All right, and then I'm going to grab my hexagons and just sprinkle some on. Let me see how I did it on this one. Okay, so I used the darker grainy apple green ones. Well, maybe, you know what? I'm going to use my shaded spruce since I haven't used that. I'm just scattering them on. So I'm going to put one right there. I'm going to put a small one right here. And then another big one kind of right there. I love these hexagon gems. They're so, so pretty. Okay, so then this is going to get popped up right here on the front of my card, just on this panel right here. You don't want to get dimensionals over on this side right here. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of my panel. Just on this side right here, about an inch. Okay. Pull off those backings and we will be done with card number 2. Am I convincing you that these turtles are cute? Do you like them? Great for kids. Just fun. They're just fun. Okay, so I want to make sure I get this straight, right like that. And there we go with card number 2. How fun is that? So it opens like this. It's your day. Hooray. I love that turtle riding his bike through the park. And then this was card number 2. Card number 1 is this one right here. So adorable, right? I hope your birthday is totally awesome. So there's a candy store. I don't know if you guys have heard of it before. It's called Kerwin's. It just opened in Midland in the last 6 months. And they sell all kinds of candies, right? Like caramels and turtles and everything else. But they don't call their turtles turtles. They call their turtles tuttles. I love it. And so I went in there and I noticed that. I'm like, why do you call them tuttles? And they said, well, turtles is a trademarked name. So we had to come up with something else. So we call them tuttles. I'm like, perfect. I love caramel and chocolate. So you've got a customer here. And the candies are named after moi, right? Not really, but I like that they named them turtles. So anyway, hi, Brenda. Did I convince you to get the turtles? I think they're pretty cute. They are pretty cute. So 2 more. Oh, sorry. You guys can't even see me moving them around here. 2 more cards tomorrow. One will be, what am I doing? Here we go, guys. There you go. It is really hard to look at the camera and get everything going the right way. So tomorrow, I got 2 fun folds for you using the Turtley Cute Sweet collection. And then on Wednesday, we will have a little gifty item, a fun fold, a 3D fun fold for you. So join me back here tomorrow. I will be here at 11 a.m., with 2 more cards to show you, and then Wednesday at noon. So God bless, and I'll see you tomorrow right here. Bye-bye.